women, I don't know if y'all pay attention to this when you're out and about, but I do. I'm a very observant person, so I see everything. And have you ever paid attention to when you are running your errands, when you are going to the grocery stores, when you're going to dollar stores, when you're in the malls, when you are at beauty supplies, shopping? I would have to say specifically, I see this at grocery stores. Other races of women shopping, and their men are with them. Okay, he might look irritated, he might be tired, his feet might be hurting, but he's with his woman shopping with her. We don't see that in the black community often. Have y'all noticed that? Typically, when I see a black woman shopping, she's by herself or she's with her kids. I rarely ever see black men and black women grocery shopping together or just together. And it's very sad. We function very differently from every other community. And it's really quite pathetic. It's very sad to me. But as you all know, this is why I encourage black women to open up their options to other groups of men. So that way you can stop shopping alone and have somebody with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Let me tell y'all real quick. This is the type of shit that I'm tired of. How is it that no matter what black men do, somebody will always find a problem? Like, this is my thing. If you are a black woman out here and you just want to sit up there and date out, you want to go out there and travel the world and all, yo, go out there and do that. You don't have to sit up there and try to highlight black men and list them as the reason. Like, she didn't even sit up there. She didn't go with the stereotypical stuff, trying to list the crime rates and all this other time. You saw the disdain in her face when she was like, it's pathetic. Have you noticed that every other race of men are out there? Doesn't matter if they're tired. It doesn't matter if they were in a coma. It doesn't matter if they're dead in a grave. It doesn't matter if they're in outer space. It doesn't matter if they're 8,000 leagues under the sea. They're down there and they're still with their woman out there shopping. Like, you got to be kidding me right now. Shopping is now so this is now the problem? This is now the problem? Like, what area do you live in where every single time you see black women, all of them have no man there? All of them. Whenever I've gone to a market, I've seen men of different races with their women or with a woman shopping. Black, Caucasian, Latin, whoever. I've seen them all out there shopping. Like, what specifically? Yo, just say that you are just uninterested. You are uninterested in black men. It is okay. It is cool, sweetheart. Go out there and do you. Matter of fact, go out there and live in Europe. Whatever type of men that you find attractive, go live in that country. It makes no sense for you to be in the United States and you have a preference that has nothing to do with black. It makes no sense to be here. Just to be honest. Like, go out there, go over there to Europe. There's fields of guys over there that you can sit up there and select from. Go to Australia. Go over there to certain parts of the UK. Go to Germany. Go to Norway. If you're into Latin guys, you can go strictly down to South America. Have at it. But it's like, it's crazy that you have these type of women out here that want to try to poison the minds of other women to make them see black men a certain type of way. Like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Grocery shopping is the problem now. That's now the thing. That's now the go-to. I ain't never heard this argument ever before in my life. And I also want to note this. The reason why you might not see a lot of guys out there grocery shopping with their women is because usually the guy is out there doing the grocery shopping. You ever thought about that one? You ever thought about that? I've never sat up there and heard a guy online complain about, you know, I've always seen every other race of women out there, going shopping, and going out there and getting groceries and going to Lowe's and going to Best Buy to get electronics. I've seen every other race of women going out there with their men, but you know who I don't see? I don't see black women doing it. Do you know how stupid that sounds? And like I said, it's a difference between somebody doing something for clicks versus somebody being real. This woman is dead serious. She's old enough. She's dead serious. She is dead serious. Like the type of disdain that she basically has makes no sense. And like I said before, it's crazy. Like I said, for this woman here, I don't know who you selectively or specifically chose to be in a relationship who was a black man at a certain point in time. I don't know what black man broke your heart either in kindergarten, in middle school, high school, or even if you might have went to college or whatever job that or function that you might have went to. I don't know who did that. I don't know if it was your father, your uncle, your grandfather. Like I don't know if it was an ancestor, but yo, you need to do a lot of soul search. You need to do a lot of healing. You need some therapy real quick. Like I pray that you don't sit up there and have any type of kids. Just being real, because to teach them like that type of energy, to put that type of energy directly on them, they don't need none of that. They don't need none of that. Like I said, we got enough foolishness and enough ignorance directly out here that we don't even know what to deal with. This is something that we just do not need. Like, this is the most ridiculous thing ever in life. Like, can there just be a time where you could just literally have black men and black women just having conversations, just talking, like just actually chilling, just being fine? With being around each other. Like this type of stuff right here is crazy. This is why I wish it was back in the 2000s when we didn't have a lot of this technology, because a lot of people do not need to be seen. A lot of people do not need to be heard. Like the way that she's even coming at this whole situation and having this topic, it is so detrimental. It is so negative. She's not looking for a solution to nothing. She is literally there to sit up there and cause chaos. All of the sarcasm that she was putting at the end, like, yo, it's crazy. And this is why I said before, this is why you got a lot of guys out here now. They're not trying to sit up there and talk. They're not trying to have conversations. They're moving around and away because stuff out here is too much of a hassle. It is too much of a problem. Like nobody wants to deal with an attitude and a woman like this. Nobody is trying to sit up there and even be near that like that. Like people talk about toxic masculinity. This is toxic femininity. Like this is crazy. And then you want to sit up there and use black men as the excuse for black women to go out there and go, I guess another version of like soil their royal oats or whatever it is. Yo, if y'all, like I said, if y'all want to do it, cool, go out there and do you. Nobody's really making a fuss about that. Average, everyday dudes that are sitting up there just minding their business, sitting up there working, keeping their nose to the ground. We ain't worried. It's cool. You can sit up there and go do you. No problem. No problem. Just don't come back to us crying and sitting up there saying that, yo, somebody needs to do something about what just happened. No, 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 no. Those groups of men that you were hanging around with and being with, those are the guys that's going to fix your problems. Those are the ones that you say that love you the most, that care about you. That is not a black man's situation to sit up there and try to do anything about. Like I said, I can't stand when people can't be honest about something. Again, if you want to go out there and date whoever it is that you want to date, cool, no problem. Don't sit up there and try to down talk the men in your community while trying to big up all the other guys that you want to basically sleep with. Because again, it's not about you in a sense finding a partner. It's about you wanting to be able to freely sleep around with all of these different cultures. That's your way of learning culture. You're not talking about learning language. You're not talking about learning how to cook the food. You're not talking about learning the actual traditions of how the women basically act in that culture. You're just worried about the culture of what those men have in between their legs. That's the only culture that you realistically talk about. That's the one that you actually care about. Like if we're just going to keep it 100, if we're going to keep it stacked, if we're going to put everything where it needs to be put, the same way that y'all like to sit up there and talk about passport bros, y'all ain't really out there for relationships. Y'all ain't really out there for marriage. Y'all just some preds. Y'all the same thing. If we're going to keep it stacked, if we're going to keep it 100, if we're going to keep it even, aka equality, because like I said, everybody can sit up there and get it. Shout out to Adrian Broner. So like I said before, like yo, to any black woman that sit up there and listen to this woman right here, she is gonna mess you up, along with the other black women that try to, you know, make these type of arguments and these type of conversations. Like yo, they are polluting y'all real good. And like I told a lot of black women out here, you got a lot of black women that look just like you that are using you. You already had the government sit up there and do it. You already had the feminist movement sit up there and do it. You already got other groups of interest sitting up there doing it. And now you got your own sitting up there doing it. Sending you to a straight dead end for no reason.